Well, hello and welcome everybody to, 2024. We're into the end of October here. We have our final series race coming up at the end of November at the Dirt. And we kind of want to get a jump on 2025. So you guys have seen kind of the flyer that we just posted up. It's on the Facebook pages. It will be on the main mod page coming up here, and we got some cool new features coming up. So we'll get into that throughout everything. But first and foremost, wanted to invite my good buddy. Just so you guys know, I've been announcing the series for the past 3 years. I'm going to be stepping back from that coming into 2025 now, and potentially at this last race here, as we get my good friend David Orner. So
what's
hello,
up,
David.
everybody?
What's going on, buddy? It's getting a little dark there over in Flagstaff where David is, and
Yep. I'll probably go in the shop in a little bit.
There we go. So we'll get. Let me see if I can get the chat up here and going. What's going on, Team Camel? So for the last couple races, David, you've been kind of jumping in the booth. You've been helping out a little bit more with the Mod Live Media, and a lot of people kind of been liking your announcing, and kind of for this next year, going to take a little bit different role. You've been helping out in the pits a lot with Mona, with the fifth scale side of things, and having some fun with that. But I think kind of transferring roles here might be kind of cool having you in the booth.
Oh yeah, we've done it a few times, and a lot of people like the program. Try not to drag along too much and get marshals out there and keep everything moving so we can be done at a decent hour and make some food, hang out in the pits. That's what the people want.
No, most definitely. It's going to be, I think, pretty cool. We're joining in. I'll get that banner up here for you guys. Let me see if I can do full screen here. You guys can check this out. Come back here. So you guys can see the flyer here. It's for 2025, essentially. We have 6 rounds on the docket, ranging from Fear Farm, Robinson Raceway, the Silver State, which is a big one. That's all in and of itself. It's a huge event there in Vegas as we partner up with the Dirt Racing. We've got Speed Demon RC, and that is up in Lincoln, California. So that's been a super cool venue. We went up there. Blaine has been putting in a ton of work, and it's a really nice place. So we're going to be going up to Lincoln there. Then we have Delta RC. We skipped the hot months there from June to August there. And we've got Delta. We had our best turnout we've ever had there. I think over 115 entries there between 5th scale and 8th scale. And then we have finished up the finals again at the Dirt, which is obviously a premier facility that we like to go to every time. So it is just a ton of fun. Oh, David's already, he's shifted.
Yeah, you barely
look at that. We got to get a mod banner in there, man. It's got the team associated one.
I got it for free.
I know. Well, I'll get you one for free. No problem.
Okay,
Sponsored. So you guys can see a couple new things that we're going to be changing for next year as well. Is we've been dabbling with it. First, we were kind of doing the 3 rounds of qualifying for 5th scale, and what that's kind of done is it ends up dragging out the program into the night, and we've seen where it ends up doing us an injustice, and a lot of people, especially our older crowd, doesn't seem to want to race that 3rd round. So David, what are we kind of switching to for efficiency wise this next season?
Well, we're actually going to go down to 1 less round, but more runtime mathematically. So 2 rounds of 8-minute quals, and should be a lot of runtime. Less changing, less asking for marshals, more time actually on the track, and hopefully done before the sun goes down.
Yeah, so that's a big thing for us is efficiency and run time for this next year. So before we had 3 rounds at 5 minutes, now we're going down to 2 rounds at 8 minutes. So you actually get theoretically another minute worth of run time on the track, but we don't have the whole minutes in between the races. Essentially, that adds up so much. And then I know in any form of racing, man, we're always asking for marshals. So that's kind of big for us. And then you kind of have a lot of guys where they won't run that third round. They're like, hey, I did well in two of them or what have you.
Yep.
And then they don't even show up, to race the third one. And then you have more issues with marshals. So we've constantly tailoring it, guys. This has been our seventh season with this, and every time we learn a little something new, and going to more runtime, less rounds has been a benefit for us. And I know David is he runs a tight ship, so I think that's going to be awesome going forward into 2025. And I think I'm not going to speak for you, David, but are we going to see you on the mic for the finals?
We're going to try. So far, the schedule's open. Going to try and make it out late Friday and get out of there as soon as the last main's over and all the way back to Flagstaff because I got no more time off. So we'll try our best to get out there, but so far about 99% sure.
Right on. So we'll have David. We'll have David and everything going on for the finals, hopefully. So looking forward to it. So it's a good time. And for Notch Johnson, don't worry about it, man. It's at Robinson Raceway. It's all fifth scale. So yeah. So it doesn't affect you at all. So yeah, this is like we said, this is a full fifth scale series, guys. We have some 8 scales that run with us and everything like that. And yeah, it's gonna be a ton of fun. And man, we're looking so forward to it. And kind of just me stepping back from this role is going to help, guys. We've been obviously a lot of our a draw that we like is having the live media for you guys at each and every event, and we want to increase that for next year and have more of the photography, more of the play-by-plays going on for you guys, and more of the photography stuff at the event. And we've seen a lot with Jason, our photographer, and he is so good at what he does. We'll be bringing him back out again as long as his schedule permits for Silver State as we have more budget. But at the other ones, I want to kind of help take care of that role and do a little bit more play-by-play for you guys to give our racers that much more just enjoyment of it and sharing and bring more people into it other than just the live coverage. So that's what we're trying to do is essentially for me to step back, do more of that role, be more in the pits with you guys, helping out. And David's going to, he's able to be the guy steering the ship, making us on time. And so we're able to get these races done. So David, we're adding Speed Demon. You haven't been up to Lincoln yet, but a lot of these other ones you've been to, and now you've even announced Silver State. You've kind of been there from the beginning. How have you seen kind of this the series grow over time?
It's all about growth and evolution, and every year try to be a little smoother, be a little more smart, have more fun, and just bring more people into it and grow the community. And that's the whole goal. That's why we do this, and just put on a show. I can't say I watched Speed Demon on the live stream. The track looks sick, so pretty stoked to go out there and lay it down out there and run the show a little bit out there too.
Yeah, it's going to be good. And, shout out to David. This guy's driving from Flagstaff every time and just bombing out and doing it for the community, doing it for us. And we greatly appreciate him. And so shout out to you, and Ari. I know hopefully she's supportive of all this, and we're gonna have a good time at these events, and it's a very unique crew that we have. So it's awesome. We have Brandon Wynn ask us here, and sorry to block off. David is now Wilson from Home Improvement. Silver State, the same schedule with 2 quals. So we will increase it by 1 qualifier for that one, Brandon Wynn. So Silver State is a little bit more, so that you guys know. We will have a specific schedule just for Silver State. But if you can imagine, we will be starting on Thursday. We will have practice in the morning, probably till I imagine around 1 o'clock, and then we will start a Q1 on Thursday. We will have 2 qualifiers on Friday and mains on Sunday. So you guys will get that, and we'll be able to load in on Wednesday, but they will be finishing up and doing the track Wednesday with everything. So it will be an increased schedule with 1 more day added for Silver State. So that should be some fun for you guys, and with another qualifier there. If it ends up being where we do need to do the 2 quals and we have practice on Thursday, kind of thinking about that. So we'll kind of see what the consensus is with the community. Maybe it should be that. I know that our first day will be Thursday, so we can kind of do what we want to. So if we just want to have practice that day, start up with the 2 quals, it might make it easier for people. It is an increased entry cost for that one, being it is that venue. But yeah, we can look at that. Right now, we kind of plan on practice, then 1 qualifier, and then getting quals done on Friday, and then mains on Saturday. And we're basically, everybody's got to be out by Sunday. So hopefully that works. But that's our current thoughts on it. Practice in the morning, 1 qual, and then the other racing going on. So Notch Johnson, you hiring? We can't afford it, man. It's basically David works for apparel, hats, and whatever tire he's got back there. We fund his motorcycle racing ventures to get him to the next trips. So yeah, for those guys that are out there, you can see our entry prices are still quite low in comparison to others that are out there for a similar like event. That's a 2 to 3 day event. And we want to keep it that. We want to keep affordable racing for you guys at each of these things. The only one that does change is obviously Silver State, but you can ascertain why that is because of the venue, and it's so expensive to be there and what have you. So, but we do want to keep that affordable racing for you guys for this series as we kind of travel all over. Lead us off, David. Where are we going to be at for Fear Farm for the first one?
What do you mean by where we're going to be at?
So Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, yeah.
For the
Sorry,
first one,
it's so common to me because it's down the street.
No worries. Yeah, for that one, and yeah, Fear Farm. It's still around. People are like, "Hey, that place closed down." They're still there, alive. But we do know, obviously, that stuff is moving in there. They've got the land is not sold yet, but we do know that there has been, like, not apartments, but there's like buildings or something that's over there. So we want to make sure to get one in this year. Fear Farm's not going anywhere as we know it currently, but we want to make sure that we get around in. So we've coupled up with Monster Cross, and for the first round, and they'll also be running the Enduro Cross.
Yeah.
So Enduro Cross will be, we've kind of shifted around. I think at first it was 3-man team at 3 hours. Then we had a 4-man team at 4 hours. I think last year we did a 5-man team, I want to say, at 5 hours.
Yep.
And I think they're drawing it back to 4 hours. It's $200 a team, I believe. And hey, come out and play with it. I think Mod, we're like 4-year running champs, so bring it on, all the others out there. Arizona crew, TLR crew, OBR crew, they've been close. I'm sure there'll be a Robinson crew. So we're looking forward to the battle out there and everything. So it should be a lot of fun. So come on out, bring those cars, guys. We'll be doing that enduro cross later on Saturday for a couple hours, and should be some fun. I think David, you drove with us, I think, last year, right?
Did you? They finally allowed 2 pros, so I finally got to join the team.
Yeah. So so Daniel Fry saying it's Delta Saturday through Monday. I hope not. Did I too? Daniel's already checking me on the stuff here. Let me check my calendar. I may need to update the flyer there. I'm clicking through right now, Daniel. Oh, Delta. Let me see. You are correct. So the 12th through the 14th. So 12th through the 14th. So that is a correction. So correction there. Thank you. That's the wife. She's like has a calendar in her head there for. That's awesome. So thank you. I will fix that on the calendar there. That it's the 12th through the 14th. Will be basically the same dates as this last year. We're essentially keeping the same ones, guys, that we've had in the past. Speed Demon, we've had the Memorial Day Classic for a long time. We ended up working with Robinson last season, and they had a race, but it ended up not. They ended up saying, "Hey, we're going to be moving some stuff." So they opened up those dates again. So we're like, hey, Speed Demon, I think that'll be pretty good up there. And we try to do it in different quadrants too. We have obviously Fear Farm guys. We have Arizona out there. We've got Robinsons. They're kind of more central. They're in the San Diego, Southern Cal area. We've got Silver State out in Vegas. Speed Demon is up in Lincoln. And then we have Delta a little bit closer, about another 2 hours closer for those guys, but at least 2 up there kind of in the NorCal area. Love our NorCal boys. And then we got the Dirt, which is kind of central to everybody as well. So kind of 2 central ones, 2 around the map with Silver State and Fear Farm, and then 2 up north and kind of central there to kind of hit, all of the West Coast. So should be good. So we're looking forward to it. So David, we've gone to this two qual format here, another 8 minutes, but on Sunday we do something kind of special that not a lot of people have. We have the divisions. What does that kind of do, with 3 bump ups and how the trophies work and everything like that for the people? Because we don't really do any more pro, expert, sportsman. What does that kind of accomplish?
Well, you did that a few years ago, and we found that the classes stayed more full, easier to have turn marshals, and depending on the event and track, a lot of people fare better at some places than others, where a sportsman could have battled with pros, and then other places pros are maybe more towards the sportsman pace, and it just gives everyone an overall idea of who's who in what class. And the 3 bump ups, we're Americans, we love underdogs, and it's fun coming up from the D main and making your way up to the A and see what you can do in the show. So overall, better competition, better racing, and I'm a huge fan of it.
Yeah, so it worked out well for us, and exactly what David said, we ended up having, and obviously 5th scale is a little bit smaller than the other scales, like 8 scale, 10 scale, everything like that. And you can hide it a little bit better is what we call it at these bigger events that we see, like the JBRL, the Top Notch series, and the other big race, Psycho Nitro, Obviously the dirt and the dirt nitro challenge and a lot of that. And I can see why they do that with the separated classes for sportsmen and expert and pro. And you'll see what they do is they differentiate it on like, if you're 100% chassis sponsored guy, or, you're have a tire sponsor and, you belong in this class. But at the end of the day, it's arbitrary in all reality. It's how you feel that you are, or by your sponsors that you are, but not really how fast you are. So you look at the times of these racers and you can compare times, and they are not in relation to where they should be. So sometimes you have an intermediate guy that's now, or what he thinks he is, he's top 3 in pro or something like that, where he's in the top spot. So it ends up being where there's sandbagging that can happen with that. So that's one of the things that we've seen over the past couple of years of doing it. In fifth scale, it's not as easy to hide because you don't have as many people. And what happens is that you'll have these guys where they're like, I don't want to go up against that guy, or they'll go down. So your quote unquote pro class will be like 2 people or 3 people. And then you'll end up having, or they don't want to go up against this guy, and where do they run? And then you have tons of turn marshaling issues. So when we went to the divisions, which is essentially, for those out there, A, B, C, and D main, we do the top 3. So the top 3, you guys trophy out, and then basically in the B main, you shift down 10. We take 7, bump 3. That may change, actually. We're going to see depending on the track and our marshaling situations. But you take the next grouping of 3, and as you guys level up, as you guys go to the next brick up and you bump, you essentially get that Division 2 or Division 3 or Division 4 trophy. You level up, you go to the next one, you get to, if you bump again, you forfeit your trophy down, and then you get to get the next higher trophy there, as well as better points for the series. So not only do you level up your points, you also level up your trophy. Some guys will be like, it doesn't say a 1, but now I'm a 3, but that's just kind of the deal that you get with it. So it ends up working out a lot better for our marshals and everything, because now we have it stacked with 10, 10, 10. So the racing is way better, because now it's not arbitrarily on what you think that you are. It's actually what you are as far as your time is considered. And like David was saying, you have where the underdog comes up, and or qualifying now matters, David.
Yep.
We've seen in other races where they split them up, everything's an A main.
Everything's an A main.
So essentially, when you're qualifying doesn't matter. And, I don't mean to be hard on anything else, but it's true. We've been in this game a long time, and essentially you're fighting for your grid position in the A main. And, so qualifying matters again. So it's a good change that we've had for these last couple years. I think the first 2 years we were on the normal, separating them by arbitrary, sportsman, expert, intermediate, whatever the heck it is. Kind of the only one else that we have other than that's like 40 plus. So we do a 40 plus class. Everybody in fifth scale is 40 plus. So it's kind of those guys that want more run time. And we'll soon be there too, David. And we got about another years. The time I run 40 plus fifth scale, I might just quit. I'll just be done with it. But yeah, we've got, we added in there, guys, rookie for this next season. The 40 plus class is all open. So it's buggies and trucks. Guys will wonder why. Why is there not? Well, because we just don't get the entry count, guys. It's all about keeping the program running smooth and keeping those classes full. We've done it where we've had the 2 separations, and you get about 4 buggies that do 40 plus. It's not worth it. And so we need to have where we've got, chunks of people and trying to get that 10 that's needed to really keep that program running smooth. We always need 7 marshals out there, kind of at minimum, to fill these tracks. And at least 2 or 3 people in fifth scale seem to be disabled, or they can't walk, or, they got a foot problem or somebody's have some sort of excuse or they're back to back. And I don't mean to be mean. It's just the reality of it. And what does that do, David?
Oh, man.
Keeps our program. Keeps our program running long, and people are like,
yes.
I need to be out of here. One of the main ones, my buddy Chris Higa, he's always like, that dude's out of there, the quickness. So we're trying to, always improve the program, guys, and that's why we're bringing on David for this next season. So it should be good. So guys, pop up in the chat if you guys have any sort of questions or anything like that for us. So we're like I said, there's those new things coming up. We've got the new venue of Speed Demon. We've got David coming on board in a different role rather than being in the pits. He's going to be up there, forefronting this thing Saturday and Sunday, killing it for you guys. And I'll still be there to help run, all the timing and scoring if he has any questions or anything like that. But we'll tune him right in probably about after an event. David's going to be on par with a lot of that stuff, but I'm always there. Super shout out to rcgtiming.com. They're our official timing and scoring software, as well as online overlay graphics and also rankings, guys. We have full rankings for the entire world for you guys as well. That kind of leads me into it. What are the points looking like, David, going into the final series here? Let's I'll kind of check this out real quick. I got to clean it up a little bit for you guys, but it is all here for you guys to see. So we'll kind of chime that over here. You guys can check out these series points right now. So we can see here in Buggy, Daniel Fry really having a couple good rounds here. But it's not like he's unobtainable. So he's got 3 good ones right now, but we got Dan Salaji right here that can do something about it if he's able to drop one of these 98s. We got Chris Mueller. Chris Mueller's been doing good in the last couple here. We got Mark Rebello, but a lot of points are super close here, guys, all the way through. A lot of people attending 3-4 races, which is awesome to see. And we go down to the top 15, guys. So the top 15 trophy out for the series. So you want to make those top spots here. So the top 15 in truck, we've got it here. Josh Mitchell has been doing good. I may have already wrapped this one up for the series, but I know Josh is looking to stay ahead here of Terry. We've got a hard charging. Well, actually, we have Daniel Fry. Daniel Fry can come up and try and take this one if he's able to get a TQ and a win. We've got Christos. So a lot of guys here. We've got the 40-plus truck class here. We'll be doing, I believe it's the top 5. We're doing the top 5 for this one for the major trophies. Truck and buggy, it's the top 15. This one's the top 5. Electric, I believe we're going to do the top 3 or 5 for this one as well. Pro Moto, probably going to be within that same realm as well, probably the top 3, because we did say that we're going to do it this year. So hopefully that's going to be pretty good. So let me see if I can answer any questions here. What's going on, Cody? What's happening? I don't see my name. LOL. Didn't know I had to stay. Yeah, you got to stay for the names there, Kyle. I think you've ran about once or twice with us. What do we got here? We got Jeffrey Murrow. David's got ice in his veins. Good stuff. Happy for you, dude. Thanks for all you do, mod dudes. Thank you, Jeffrey. Yeah, so it's a good time, guys. We've got those points up there that you guys can check out. I'll drop the link here in the chat so everybody can see. So that link has been posted for you guys, so you can check that out. Just go to the chat. So, yeah, it's going to be some hard fought battles coming down to the end here. We're going to be getting all our trophies made up from Imaginext Graphics. It's going to be pretty exciting, guys. We're looking forward to it, and yeah, it's pretty interesting to see. So, this is our 6th year running this series. We're going into our 7th, and bigger and better things, guys. We plan on having better coverage for you guys, better announcing. David is awesome. He runs a tight ship. I'm happy to hand it over to him. We'll see if he quits after this 1 year. We'll see. Or he might be getting more gigs out there. You might be seeing him announcing more. See in the future here, hopefully maybe in Arizona. He's doing a lot of things. David, you kind of not only an RC, but you're a pretty accomplished racer in doing enduros and stuff like that as well. Kind of lead us through, what you've seen and kind of how similar maybe or what motocross we can also help from learning from them, and maybe what they can learn from RC, from what you've seen between the two.
Yeah, I'll tell you. If there's racing involved, there's your good eggs and your bad eggs on every spectrum. And currently with off-road, motocross, everything, there is an A, a B, and a C class, and even some motocross tracks there's a D class. I just recently moved up into the 30 plus B, which why my bike's got a yellow plate on it, not this one. It's all torn down, getting ready to be sold. But jumped out of the C class, which would be like your sportsman.
Nice.
And just like with RC, the sandbagging is horrible. There's guys in the C class that could literally be on the same lap as a pro. And in the B, it's a little more competitive. And guys, if they actually step up, they will go to that A class. So I was able to secure a 2022 30 plus C championship, which, I showed up and didn't get myself killed that year. And every other season since, I've managed to break something and not be able to finish the series. So then I got off the 450. Now I'm on a 302 stroke. I can do everything with it. Way happier. I actually have a 100-mile race tomorrow. So I'm going to be doing a 100-mile race tomorrow out at the Cinders. If you don't know what that is, Google it. A lot of whoops, a lot of hills. There's one hill that's 900 feet tall, and I don't know if they're sending us up the sides or straight up the middle. But I got my scoop tire on there, the MX-14, and I actually have Robbie Rob coming up. He should be here in about 2 hours. He's my pit guy. Ari's got to work, so he's going to come in, give me some fuel, because I will run out of fuel with a 2.5 gallon tank out there. So I got a big jug, quick fill, boom. Not as fancy as an MIP one, but yeah. So I've been doing that. I love horrible things. If that sounds okay. I love the suck. I love when I'm dying and my heart rate's through the roof and I have no energy and I'm banging bars with dudes going freeway speeds in between trees.
That is awesome. Well, no more concussions, hopefully, or broken collarbones, and you don't know how you got home. So
yeah, I got home though.
Between the two, I don't know this. You were saying that sandbagging also happens in those classes. What is there, other than, because obviously for us it would rely kind of on the announcer looking at the times and saying, or race director saying, hey, too fast in this, man. You need to bump up. What do they do in motocross or in enduro cross?
Well, with what we do, there's no real announcing, because you take off, poof, you go off on a minimum 5-mile course, and then you come back 5 to 20 minutes later. And basically at the end of it all, they do a protest time where I was battling points with a dude, and out in Blythe, I caught him cheating. He caught a huge portion of the desert section out, and he was doing better times than the actual pros. And I just sent one email over to the wife of the person who owns the racing series, and she's like, cool, he got last, you got first, congratulations. And I was like, sweet. So, but there is a protest period where it's like, hey, and it's really bad in the little kids, like the minis. Mini parents are horrible. Grown adults, we all kind of know each other. It's still a small community like RC. There's probably 300 to 700 people in the whole state that do this. So we all kind of know of each other. And if someone's sandbagging, they either just call them out and peer pressure them, or they're just known as that guy who sandbags and collects a trophy.
Got it. So, all right. And is there any money to protest, or is kind of just
it's
stage it?
Yeah, in like the UTV classes, they got to throw money down because they got to tear engines apart. But with the dirt bikes, it's you just call it out, and if it's there, it's there. There's hardly any protest, so they're really good about it.
Right on. We got Mike Fuller in here saying that looks like they're building a new fifth scale track in Iowa. Yeah, Danny had hit me up about his 5B and not 6B there, but totally understand. Yeah, we need to get out there, Mike, and we kind of travel back east during the summer months. We went out, David. You kind of your last time on the track. You went to East Coast Nationals. How'd you like that?
That was fun. That was the most I've had a radio in my hand all year, and that was a few qualifiers, practice, and a main, and it was a good time. Track was big, people were nice, and super good, super memorable trip.
That's awesome, man. So yeah, we ended up having a mod, kind of a company trip out there for fifth scale, help and support our brothers out there at Rocky Hill RC Raceway in Marlow, New Hampshire. So that was a very cool, unique track. Probably one of the biggest tracks we've ever raced on. It's like in a big bowl, and it's a very motocrossy style track. A lot of fun. Developed a lot of character, and it was a good time out there at that East Coast Nationals, and took a couple wins home as well. So that's great for all the mod goodies and whatnot, and everybody had a really good time. And we're looking forward to supporting out east again. We can only kind of make it during the summer months, but I think that's kind of the only time. That's kind of their season as well, because if not it's winter and it's snow, and we don't know of that out on the West Coast that much. David, you do. You woke up the other day, you're like, hey man, I got a snowstorm, and I don't know if I can make it down right now to the race.
That was interesting
coverage.
Yeah, it was a freak one.
Pretty crazy. So hopefully all of our weather for this next season goes well, guys. And we're looking forward to this next season and what we got going on. So this next one we got is at the end of November. So for those that don't know, let me pop up the other flyer here. This is our flyer for the season. So this is our last round. It's going to be here at the bottom. I can drag it down so you'll see at the dirt, November 24th, 22nd to the 24th. It's going to be practice on Friday, Saturday quals, and that's also 8 scale quals and mains, as well as on the 24th, main events for 5th scale. So also kind of looking at that for that one, I think it's going to be pretty good there, and probably should have a pretty good little 8 scale crowd come out. Unfortunately, our good friends with the Nitro Compound, they were having a race at Proline actually the same weekend for 8 scale. So obviously we knew that we probably wouldn't get as many guys, but I just saw today they had to cancel it. I don't exactly know why, but come on out, guys. We'll have a good 8 scale turnout with all you guys, and hopefully you come out to the dirt on that final day on that Saturday. So come out for all of our 8 scale guys. We'll be crowning a whole bunch of champions for 5th scale. The dirt is always kind of like one of the nicest tracks. We have a lot of fun there. It's an awesome facility Joey has, and we like working with them. And that's our final dates for you guys there in about a month's time. So in about 4 weeks, we will be heading out there, and so David will get on the mic, and you guys can see kind of maybe how 2025 is gonna be going. So should be a lot of fun. So let me see if we have anything else in the chat. I won't want to keep David too much longer. I know he's got to get some rest. He's got a big race tomorrow. Let me see. Yep, Danny, they canceled that race. We have here, will you be at Speed Demon on 11/2? I am not. I'm actually going to be in Paris, France. So we're going to be shooting the PNWC for the, I call them mini Zs, but they are the 1/28 scale. So not this big. Little mini Z 1/28 scale, but they're not. They're like reflex racing, and they got all sorts of cool cars. They're miniature pan cars. They're super cool. 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive. David was there a year ago in Texas with us.
Antonio.
Shooting it. So we had a good crew out there, and we're actually going to be shipping out on Tuesday to Paris, France for that one. So Megan's going, I'm going, and then Shu's going. So we'll kind of have our, a core grouping there. I wish David could go. But I didn't even ask the guy because he's out of PTO, guys. He's done. He would have had to take off 2 weeks of PTO, and David would no longer have a job, and we can't employ him. He doesned.
Yeah, I'm too expensive.
He works for Skittles and Mountain Dew at the mod race. But it's so that should be a fun event. So shout out to my boys. I hope they have a very good turnout at Speed Demon November 2nd. And what have you, but I will not be able to make it. So yeah, we're looking forward to next year, guys. And like I said, I just wanted to kind of introduce David. You guys have seen him at the track. You've seen him in many different facets, and he's a huge part of our crew. And we'll have the other guys out there helping in the pits, like Jason, Chris. Brian's been coming on, Shapiro, and helping us out at a couple events now. So hopefully we're able to get him out to a couple more here. So as we go, we just kind of grow the crew, and all the money we make, guys, from the series goes right back into it. So goes right back to the racers, right back to you guys. And we want to keep helping grow it and do the best we can for you guys. Literally all the money goes back in that we make from it. From event to event, and all of our awesome sponsors down below there are going to be helping us out, from raffle goodies and everything like that, so we can raise more funds to keep doing this and to keep bringing cool racing to your guys and to your eyeballs. So, because I would say Fiskales, as far as the racing, it's probably some of the funnest because you're able to knock doors out there. When you get a couple good guys out, it's a lot of fun. So David, kind of going into 2025 here, like you said, you're going to try and run the program a little bit smoother, and keep this thing popping. Kind of one of the things is I kind of have to be the nice guy, man. What are you going to be? At Silver State, we saw you, man. Kind of the Ultra David came out, and you weren't having it. I think you're going to run a pretty tight ship.
Yeah. Make sure you get some more speakers for Silver State so people can hear me, because that was the number one complaint. But every other place that I've ever helped with announcing, people do pretty good. They get out there. They understand how this works. And I'll have printed papers on me. I'm going to have a highlighter, a marker, scratching people off as they're marshaling. I don't care. I will call people out. I will ruin your qualifying from your best run, not your last run. So throw down a heater in 1. Don't feel like doing 2. Get an early dinner. Don't show up to Marshall. I just took a lap away from your best qualifier. Now you're in the D main. So sorry about it.
It's gonna be how it goes, guys. So he's the new head honcho. So I'm gonna give him the power to make sure we keep this program running smooth for you guys, and it is for you, the racers. But there's also still going to be that caveat, guys, where we want to get everybody out there, and that's not on. Obviously, that's a Marshall issue for that, but for keeping the program running smooth. But we know that you guys spend a lot of money. We know that you guys come out and you want to have a good time, race your cars with your buddies. We're going to do our best to always get you guys out there on the track. So there will still be that leniency, but there's not going to be the leniency for your guys' job of what you need to do, and have people out there. So it'll be some pretty quick things of like, hey, when you're done, back out again, to Marshall, and to keep this program running smooth for us. If you guys don't have somebody, get somebody, bribe somebody, pay somebody. But we just want to keep the program running smooth. And that's going to be our goal for next year, is first and foremost fun. Second is going to be efficiency. And we're going to try and provide that to you guys with the crew that we have, and everything like that. As always, we have the full mod pop-up shop on site, so you guys can get your parts support. You can go to modspeedshop.com, get your guys' parts and everything, because that helps us keep everything going, guys. So those that do have disc scales, make sure you guys support that. That makes us be able to fund what we do, keep these races still going. And it's a good time, and we try and provide that to you guys each and every time out. But we don't like to make it about the money either, but you guys supporting the shop really makes it happen to keep this thing going, because like I said, we put everything back into it for you guys. So when you guys do think about it, just jump on Mod Speed Shop, see if you grab tools, grab parts, anything like that, and competitive pricing and great customer service. So so trust us on that one. And also we do have, for 2025, we're going to have expanding mod hobbies for the shop. So we're going to be working on that, and that's going to be expansion for next year on our brick and mortar that we have. And so it's going to be a good time, and much growth to be had at Mod, and hopefully you guys all support it. We'll be about 30 seconds from Huckleberry. So we run weekly programs down there. If you guys want to come down and grab some racing, we'll be racing on Sunday this weekend. So if you guys want to come out and check it out, it's all electric. So you have electric 8 scales, short courses, 10 scale stuff. Come on out. They have a new on-road track going in that hopefully, I think by the end of the year, is going to be popping off. So that should be pretty cool. I know Notch is going to be kind of heading that up and doing the announcing there, and I'll be doing a lot of the off-road stuff. So it should be a lot of fun, here in the SoCal area, and keep growing it. So if there's not any other questions, guys, should be pretty good, and looking forward to the new year and crowning some champions at the end of 2024 here. It should be pretty cool. I'm really looking forward to it. Any final thoughts, David?
Make sure you got some speakers for Silver State, and let's get it on. We'll see how this final one goes, because I don't know for sure. Are you sticking with the 3 rounds for the last one, or are you going to adopt the 2 rounds of qualifying for this final at the dirt?
It will be two quals. We've been doing that the last couple. I think the only one that we'll do 3 potentially at is going to be Silver State.
Okay, so next month we're doing 2.
Yeah,
okay.
2 8 minutes is now the new.
Perfect.
It's a rolling. It's a running change, I should say.
Sweet.
With the program, it runs better. I saw it. You get more run time. People like it. They say, "Hey, I get in my groove." We're still in daylight when we're getting done. Runs better. So
absolutely cool.
So
stoked on that.
So awesome, guys. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in with us. I wanted to kind of just get this live going, get that schedule out to you guys for the next year. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're adding on another race. I think we've kind of sifted around at the very beginning. I think David, we had like 8 races in the first 1 or 2.
Yeah, you were a little crazy.
That was a little crazy. That was a little crazy. We were running, we were running some of those hot months at some of these races. I didn't even know what was going on, and we were out there 105 degrees. Oh, it was terrible. It was terrible. But we've learned over the years, guys. Every time it's small improvements. And thank you for coming out. This last year has been our most successful year to date. I think we've had a consistent 100+ entries in each and every one. and that goes to you guys for coming out and supporting, and hopefully it's also that we have fun events that you guys look forward to and coming out to every time as we try to help build this community, because we are, I believe, the biggest and only, I would say, fifth scale, at least the biggest fifth scale series, especially on the West Coast here, and probably for the nation as far as the the time frame we're able to do it. I know that my buddy Josh Garbert has something going on. He's doing like a 3 or 4 race series on the East Coast that he has. I think it was with like G3RC. They have a couple other ones. I know Luke out there has been doing a lot with Chet's. So they hopefully a lot of those guys out there, they're going to be getting something going. Still we have a pretty good series going on out here, and it goes to you guys for time after time supporting. And like I said, we try and keep our costs low for you guys, because we do know it's expensive. The most thing is that it's affordable, that it's everything makes sense. We're not looking to make $1 million out there. This is just to help us keep this thing going for you guys and get us from event to event and support the tracks, guys. A lot of that money goes to the tracks. We take a little bit, they take a little bit of it, and then to help support everything. And a lot of that money is going towards the tracks, helping keep them alive. And more than anything is what the series is to do with the live media, and what we bring to it is so that it cultivates a culture there of more racers knowing that place exists, so that they're able to get more people at their racetracks. We kind of come in, like Circus put on a show, but there's still club racing and there's stuff going on in the background that people are going to week in and week out, and once a month. But we want to help bring people there from around the different tracks to say, hey, check this out. And, for us to provide that good live coverage and say, man, this place is pretty bitchin'. So we appreciate you guys, all the years of support and continued support for the series. Hopefully we bring a lot of value to you and going to the future here. So, Danny Trevino, such a money grabber you are. I wish.
Tens of dollars.
Tens of dollars we make. Oh man. Yes, guys. So it's looking good for this next season. And thank you all for your support and going into the new one. So we'll see you guys at the finals. Imagine it's going to be pretty good. I'm imagining probably 120 entries plus. I think we had like 150 last year or something like that. It was pretty gnarly. So hopefully we're, hopefully we get a lot of 8 scale guys out there. I'm hoping for maybe 60 entries in 8 scale. If we get 95th scales, that'd be pretty awesome. But yeah, if we can get our 8 scale turnout, a lot of guys like our series and the race, and we got going on. We offer kind of all the main classes and trophies for those guys as well. So yeah, Danny, we reiterated that the Nitro Compound had canceled, so it kind of opens up that weekend. You guys have an option there, not too far away at the Dirt, with full live coverage, professional announcing by David himself, and we're gonna run a nice clean cut program for you guys and a fun time out there. So thank you everybody for your support, and yeah, any final thoughts there, David? You good?
I'm all good.
Awesome. So thank you so much, guys, for everything and all your guys' support. And hey, we'll see you in about a month's time at the racetrack for the Mod Championship Series finales. We'll crown some champions, and also mark your calendars for 2025. It's gonna be a fun one. So thank you so much. Thank you, David, for your time. Good luck in your race tomorrow.
All right, thank you.
Don't get hurt.
Nope.
Later, guys.